Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Mini Books Podcast with your host Gloria and Rogan, and today we are excited to dive into Special Book with You. We picked this one because it has really important lessons to share and we can't wait to talk about them. So let's get started.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be diving deep into The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. You know, this book was one of those reads for me where, like, every other page, a light bulb went off.
It's a classic for a reason, right?
Totally.
Murphy just has this way of explaining the subconscious in a way that really clicks. It's not some abstract thing. It's like this powerful force we can actually use.
Totally. And that's what I love about it. It gives you actual tools to use. So in this deep dive, we're going way beyond the basics to uncover these, like, aha moments so you can actually use this stuff.
I like that.
It's like, if your mind is a garden,
Okay.
this deep dive is about giving you, like, the tools to cultivate something amazing in there.
Yeah. I love that analogy. And like any good gardener, we need to understand the terrain we're working with. So Murphy talks about the conscious and subconscious minds and how they work together.
Yeah, he says we basically have these two minds, right?
Right.
And he uses the example of a ship, with the conscious mind being the captain,
Right.
making the decisions, setting the course, all of that.
Exactly. And then the subconscious, that's like the engine room, powerfully putting all those decisions into action, whether they're good for us or not.
Okay, so that's where it gets really interesting to me. It's not enough for the captain to just be, like, shouting commands from the deck right now.
Exactly.
It's about understanding how to actually communicate with that engine room, how to plant those suggestions way down deep.
Yes, and that's where this whole idea of suggestion comes in, the idea that we can actually influence our subconscious mind. And Murphy talks about two types. Autosuggestion, which is basically talking to ourselves, right?
Right.
And then heterosuggestion, which is the influence we absorb from other people.
And, you know, when you really think about it, we are bombarded with suggestions all the time, even from a young age. You know, think about the messages we got growing up, like, you're so smart, or maybe you'll never amount to anything.
Right.
And those words, even if we don't consciously remember them, they kind of seep into our subconscious and shape our beliefs about ourselves.
Totally. It's like that saying, give a child a message and they'll live it for a lifetime. Our early experiences, the words we hear, it all programs our subconscious minds.
Yeah, and it's like in the book when Murphy talks about that timid passenger on the ship and somebody suggests he's going to get seasick, and sure enough, he starts feeling ill.
Right.
And it's because that suggestion, even if it's coming from outside, it aligns with a fear that he already has within him. And this is where it gets kind of powerful and maybe a little unsettling, because it shows just how much control our subconscious has.
It's true. And it really highlights how important it is to become aware of those ingrained beliefs, those subconscious programs, because they could be holding us back without us even realizing it. It's like we're walking around with these, like, hidden scripts written by our past, dictating how we react to everything.
Right, right. And this is where it gets really exciting to me, because Murphy says we have the power to actually rewrite those scripts. He goes deep into this idea of manifestation, using the power of our subconscious mind to attract the things we want.
Exactly. And it's not about, like, some mystical law of attraction, right?
Right.
It's really about aligning our thoughts, feelings, beliefs, everything with our desired outcomes.
Okay, so, like, not just wishing for something.
Not even close. It's about really cultivating that feeling of already having it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, your subconscious mind, it doesn't really distinguish between what's real and what you vividly imagine.
Huh.
So if you can really feel that joy, the gratitude, that sense of accomplishment, like you already have it, your subconscious mind will actually start working to close that gap.
You know, I actually tried this myself. After reading about Murphy's experience selling his house, he talks about how he visualized that for sale sign coming down and really feeling that sense of relief and excitement. And, like, almost immediately after that, he got this amazing offer.
It's wild, right?
It really is. You don't even realize how powerful your thoughts and feelings are.
Absolutely. And this goes way beyond just, like, stuff and achievements. Murphy also talks about the connection between the subconscious mind and our physical health.
Oh, yeah, that our thoughts can actually, like, impact our well-being. That's always been so fascinating to me.
Right. It's huge, but we often just don't think about it. He says a lot of illnesses actually start in the mind.
Really?
Negative thoughts, suppressed emotions, stress, it all takes a toll.
So it's not just about positive thinking then?
Exactly. It's about going deeper,
Ah.
addressing those underlying beliefs and emotions that could be holding us back,
Oh, I see what you mean.
both mentally and physically.
Wow, so it's all connected.
Totally. And just like negative thoughts can manifest as illness, positive emotions, things like faith, love, joy, they can be incredibly healing.
He even talks about like prayer and affirmations as ways to tap into the subconscious mind's ability to heal. It reminds me of that story about Dr. Esdale, the surgeon in India.
Oh, yeah. What about him?
He had these incredible success rates with his surgeries, even before like modern sterilization was a thing.
Right, right.
And Mercy thinks it was because of the power of suggestion.
Interesting.
Like he'd hypnotize his patients before surgery
Wow.
and tell them their bodies would heal quickly and without
And
infection.
it worked.
It did. It makes you think about how much potential our minds have
Yeah.
to influence our physical reality.
Absolutely.
But there's this other part of healing that I found really profound. Forgiveness.
Forgiveness, for sure.
It's like Murphy says, holding on to anger and resentment. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Right?
It just hurts us more than anyone else.
Totally. And it's not about, condoning someone else's actions or anything. It's about choosing to free yourself from that burden, that negativity.
So choosing peace over resentment.
Exactly. Choosing healing over anger.
Yeah, like we're clearing out all that mental and emotional clutter
Mm-hmm.
to make space for healing and moving forward.
I like that a lot.
It's funny, though, because, we talk about healing, and we usually think about, like, physical health. But Murphy also goes into this whole thing about aging, like really embracing the second half of life,
Mhm.
And it got me thinking about how we talk about getting older.
Yeah, it's almost like we have this built-in fear of it, you
Yeah.
know?
Exactly. And Murphy really challenges this idea
Uh.
that aging has to be about decline.
It's refreshing, actually.
It is.
He's like, so much of how we experience getting older is all in our heads.
Totally. It's our mindset, our beliefs about it.
Exactly.
You
Like,
know.
he says he had grown old in his thought life,
I remember that line.
talking about people who seem like old before their time.
Yes.
Because they've internalized all that negative stuff about aging.
It's like you're almost like manifesting those limitations on
Yeah.
ourselves.
Totally. Sorry to interrupt you guys. If you're enjoying this podcast, then don't forget to check out our official YouTube channel, Mini Books Podcast, and subscribe for more great podcasts like this one. But Murphy flips the script. He says, true age, it's a state of mind.
Oh, I like that.
Instead of focusing on what we might be losing as we get older, what if we focused on all the good stuff? The wisdom, the experience.
That's a good point.
It's about really embracing each stage of life.
And he talks about people like Herbert Hoover, right? Still doing amazing things in his 80s.
Exactly. Proving that we don't just, expire at a certain age.
Our minds are capable of so much more than we give them credit for.
Absolutely. We have this incredible capacity for growth, no matter how old we are.
It's all about letting go of those limiting beliefs.
For sure.
This has been amazing. I feel like I've learned so much about how my mind works, and more importantly, how I can choose thoughts and beliefs that help me, not hold me back.
That's the power of Murphy's work, for sure.
It really is.
He gives us this framework for understanding our subconscious, but then he also gives us the power to actually shape it.
Yes. It's not about just accepting whatever thoughts come up. It's about choosing the ones that serve us, the ones that create the life we want.
Couldn't said it better myself.
So for everyone listening, what will you choose to cultivate? Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the power of your subconscious mind. Until next time, keep exploring the power within.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this conversation and want to dive into more book insights and key learnings, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Mini Books Podcast, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. We're back every Sunday at 9 a.m. with new books and more to learn from. Until next time, take care, keep learning, and keep growing. Remember, this is Mini Books Podcast.